have the floor.
Thank you, Prime Minister Milanovic, President Josipovic, Secretary General of NATO Rasmussen, dear colleagues, Prime Ministers, Ministers, Ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen. We meet here again in the breathtaking city of Dubrovnik. And this is another good opportunity for us to meet friends and discuss our achievements for 2011 and goals ahead of us. This year, we meet again to represent independent states in order to stress the need for our future cooperation and interdependence. So this year, in this pearl of the Croatian coast, we have the privilege to open the path to integration for all our citizens. Personally, I am very proud to come to this summit in Dubrovnik from another meeting that was of special importance for my country, but for the region as such as in Vienna. On Monday last week, the International Steering Group for Kosovo decided to end the supervision of Kosovo's independence. For the government that I lead and for all the people in Kosovo, for all the Kosovars, this is a successful passing of an important exam that demonstrates our political and institutional maturity. On behalf of the government and on behalf of the citizens of the Republic of Kosovo, I want to thank all those who have supported us and who have shown trust in the state of Kosovo and who have made this success possible. Dear friends, we are aware that full independence means full responsibility. So regional cooperation and European integrations have to be the basic principles that we honor today here. These are two independent but necessary processes, and success in the first process will make an impact. Will have an impact on the second process. In my opinion, that these processes in the state of Kosovo is more pronounced in Kosovo than they are anywhere else, because this is a prerequisite for peace, social development, and European integration. And based on this cooperation, the success of this cooperation will have a direct impact on in our fight against organized crime and corruption. That has an important impact on the prospects and development of fragile societies in the region. This cooperation is important for our cooperation. Our countries are independent, but they are small and poor. They will have no opportunity to develop under circumstances of isolation or a policy of lack of trust and confidence. This cooperation will make it possible for us to have free movement of people and goods. Many things are missing in this region, but this cannot be said about border crossings and customs officials. We can see border crossings and customs officials every 100 kilometers everywhere we turn. And the case with borders usually are a symbol of national pride. But after many years, these borders have become borders of development of personal freedom and the freedom for the society. We, as representatives of these borders, today face the same challenges, and these is how we are going to open the borders while at the same time preserving the integrity of our societies. How can we make economic cooperation possible without jeopardizing our identity? And this is not only a rhetorical dilemma. Ladies and gentlemen, during last year, Kosovo again demonstrated its commitment to regional cooperation when it participated in the process of dialogue that was started with the Republic of Serbia. agreements reached in this process in Brussels actually stress this dilemma, which is incomprehensible for foreign observers, but is very usual in the way of thinking present in the Balkans. Still, I am proud to be able to say here that major compromises in our agreements were based on one and only principle, and this was our goal to improve the lives of our citizens, both in Kosovo and in Serbia. And we were driven by our belief that ideological differences and our historical past cannot hold us hostages and cannot prevent us from building a bright future for our children. So this is a legitimate expectation and an institutional request made by the Republic of Kosovo. Our readiness to implement these agreements will have an impact on regional cooperation and the pace of the European integration process's implementation. Irrespective of how quickly these processes are implemented, this will also have an impact on the number of people who will soon be free to communicate in a free way. I here welcome the comments made by Secretary General of NATO regarding this cooperation. There is no dilemma in Kosovo. Welfare and development through cooperation are the only way forward for us. And the end of supervised independence of Kosovo is proof that Kosovo, as a state, has successfully concluded its first state-building stage. And this is a joint success of Kosovars and of international community. In this sense, the support given by the EU, the United States of America, and the NATO and all the other members of the international steering group has been indispensable. I want to use this opportunity to thank one more time all the states that have been part of the state-building process of the state of Kosovo. Now, I would also like to use this opportunity to invite the 5 remaining members of the EU that have not yet recognized the independence of Kosovo to do so as soon as possible, because this will be beneficial for everyone. Since we are now fully independent, our responsibility is also much greater. And I want to persuade you that we and the institutions present in Kosovo and functioning in Kosovo will apply everything that has been prescribed by laws of the state of Kosovo. We will continue promoting good neighborly relations with all the countries in the region. And in this sense, we are interested in doing the same with Serbia. Therefore, your support and your assistance is very important for the normalization of relations between Kosovo and Serbia. I know that this will not be an easy process, but I also know that we have no other option. Normalization of relationship between Kosovo and Serbia is the only way forward. We want to do it, and we are aware of the fact that the only future for Kosovo is integration in NATO and the EU. At the end, I want to stress the role of the EU in promoting lasting peace and stability in the Balkans, but in the wider region as well. This is one of the main goals of its foreign policy. That is why we expect that the EU will be more determined, more efficient, and more dynamic in bringing the countries of Western Europe to accept European standards and become members of the EU. As regards the processes in Kosovo, everything will depend on the start of implementation of agreements between Kosovo and Serbia. That will be a part of the subject of negotiations to take place in Brussels. We will perform what is our duty. We expect the EU to also meet all its or make all its promises real. I want to thank Croatia for inviting me here. I want to congratulate Mr. Lukšić for the progress that Montenegro has made in joining the EU, and I want to